um, you are uh, waking. This is probably the morning, uh, probably the morning after you've sent your dreams.
Yep.
Yeah. So, um, you would have, and presumably you would have had be sort of start mulling over um, the journey to Gralton, the conversation last night with Sergeant Kramer to kind of clarify how long it's going to take and why it's taking so long. And just wondering, kind of, does this feel right? Um, your journey has got you as far as the outskirts of the Tuscutter, and you.
Have I noticed any Yasin has been here landmarks or something?
Well, I'm about to describe that
Oh.
because um, where uh, where you as you get closer and start making the way down, you notice that the uh, the sort of destroyed ruin that was hmm, the destroyed ruin of the Stag Lord's fort, which was basically kind of a huge, massive pile of rubble, seems to have gone. I mean, like, there's virtually nothing there now.
Uh, I'm going to motion for everybody to go over there and
Okay.
start looking for a way into that basement, if
Okay.
there is
Well.
one.
Okay. Well. Uh. It looks like it's already been pretty thoroughly searched through. You can see the kind of the depression that's there where it clearly, and you can see like the underground uh, kind of mold in the earth of it. And yeah, it looks like this whole site's been picked clean.
Hmm.
Um, Sergeant Kramer will come over and say, "There's a lot of there's evidence of a large caravan of ponies that has been here recently. It looks like they've uh, sort of dragged a lot of heavy items from here. We think.
Does it look like people knew what they were doing when they did this, or it was just hey, grab that, grab that?
Difficult. I mean, difficult for you to say. I mean, it's a thorough job's been done, and even you, to the untrained eye, can tell that there's been a lot of stuff. Effectively, kind of, there's a lot of tracks uh, of ponies that have been like dozens of ponies that have basically dragged stuff away from here.
Well, I guess this is Yasin, but Kramer, I was here before, and there was something in the basement of this place that, if it's not here anymore, might be cause for concern. I'm
Do you
not
have any?
exactly sure what it was, but
Do you have any more details, Lady Von Witt?
it had a lot of bugs. And there was a creature down there. I don't know what it was, but if that's not here anymore, we might need to worry.
I see. I'll let the men know. Um, we're gonna have to. I'm not going to suggest crossing crossing this lake, my lady, but we will have to cross the river.
Yeah, and I was thinking about this whole trip. I have the, money to go get some supplies in Mivon to make a much nicer airship than what we were in to make the rest of the trip. It should cut down the time drastically with how long it's gonna take.
Oh, Mivon. Okay, yeah, that'll take less time, certainly.
Right. Um, could you help me search for a way, like, down to a basement area in this?
Yep. Yes, my lady.
Don't go down there alone and inform your men not to go down there alone.
Okay. He takes the rather nice looking um uh large firearm off of his back.
I take a second to, like, admire it. Just like,
Mm.
I wish I knew how to use guns.
It's a musket, but it's double barreled.
Huh.
You would know this would be both rare and valuable.
There's like a little glimmer in my eye. So, where did you get that?
This was a present from uh, of thanks from the captain for saving his life at Belcon.
Oh.
He knew I ran the gun squad,
Hmm.
my lady. Of course, that was back then in Belcon. Different job now.
Yeah.
He's kind of polishing it and prepping it while he's talking to you.
Kinda just, mild a little bit. After a few moments, just, move on to continue to search for the basement.
I'll cover you while you're down there.
Yeah, I. Do you have any sort of explosives or fire? Last time I was down there was a lot of swarms of bugs.
I might have something like that.
Alright,
I'll uh, I'll chat to a couple of the men and get them to prep something, just in case.
and I continue searching. Would you like me to roll for that?
Yes, please.
Alright, perception?
Yes, please.
Sure, I can't use architecture to see where the basement used to be?
You can see, like I said, the site has been picked clean.
Ah.
It's not a struggle to find the actual, and the basement wasn't small.
Oh, okay. So, look down at, kind of like look to the men to make sure I'm having backup before I head down.
Yeah, no. Sergeant Kramer's got his gun, so basically kind of covering in front of the area that you're
Uh,
entering in.
I chug a dex mutagen and I head down.
Okay. Can I have you got acrobatics?
Uh.
It is a drop.
Oh wait, I didn't have
That's,
my extra +2 on there from mutagen,
that's
but
good enough. That's good enough. You needed a 10. You got a 10. Okay, you kind of get down, not massively gracefully, but you get down there. Your natural agility taking over as you land on the balls of your feet, and yeah, really musky down here. But it's been open to the air, you think, for a few days at least, and that's probably helped. Um, yeah, there's nothing down here. Unless you want to make perception markers.
I will.
There's nothing down here.
Uh. Well, that's their issue. Um, I head out.
Okay.
I'll send them a message tonight that they need to look out for this. But we should still be able to get a move on without worrying about them too terribly much.
Yes, my lady. Okay. Um, you notice Sergeant Kramer is there is there's some wood, not in great condition, but there is some scraps of wood that have been left behind, probably because it was felt they weren't sufficiently up to a certain gentleman's standard.
Can I see if it was like an expertly picked thing, or if like it kind of looked like he left some sort of? I kind of want to get a feel of like the skill of the person that picked this apart, basically, if that's possible.
The person who picked this apart knew somewhat of what they were doing.
Not as much as me though.
No, but
Okay,
some, they weren't a complete idiot,
all right.
and clearly they had a small army of ponies at their disposal.
I kind of like think for a second about what Yasin could do, and just kind of shrug. I guess he can talk to ponies now, and he managed to find a herd of them.
There we go.
That's the most reasonable explanation.
It's a niche skill, but someone's got to do it.
You see,
Okay.
there's a spell called Pony Speech that it only allows him to speak to ponies, and he definitely took that.
Okay. You hey, you make your way you make so with these scraps of wood and what they find along the way and what they have on them, they manage to make a pretty decent looking raft actually. Um, and they get one of their number swims across the river and pegs in a rope, which he then arrows across back to your side. Sergeant Kramer then pegs it in on that side.
Why did we never think to do this?
Ah. Yeah, you have to say you've not been with these guys long, but yeah, you can see why Daddy hired them. They're low maintenance professionals.
Melina takes notes.
And then effectively they just use the rope to guide themselves across. Sergeant Kramer does some kind of
Why did Hastus never bring this up?
some clever kind of twisty thing with the rope at the bank you just left, and the stake comes up and spins back into his hand. You notice from that demonstration, this guy's got really good hand-eye coordination.
I just kind of like stare at him for a moment. The mouth like slightly open, like. Do you have any clue how much of an issue we've had crossing these rivers? That you might want to next time you see Hastus teach him that little thing that you just did.
We're professional soldiers, Lady Von Witt, and Hastus is still a somewhat junior member of the Iron Wings.
You should definitely teach him that.
I'll be sure to mention it to him next time I see him.
I just like continue to stare at him in awe for the next few minutes.
Okay. Without any hassle, you cross the river, reach the other side. Um, and
Oh, that night I'm going to send them a message that I'll just type out to you later. Oh, here in a moment.
yeah, no, type it out now, dude.
Okay. And this would just go to Hastis, because... Oh, actually, yes, and two. Because I know that they would know about what it is.
Okay. Do you want to IM them that
Alright.
and explain it's from Melina?
Okay, send it.
Cool. Okay. Um. Okay. You.
Oh, wait, no, he doesn't get dreams. Oops, my bad.
Good point.
Yep.
Fine. Okay. You camp for the night
Yep.
and do your dream thing. And um, then in the morning, um, men are having their breakfast. Sergeant Kramer's there. Come to bring you yours, Lady Von Witt. Hands it to you. It's all right. It's not great. You've certainly had worse on the road while you've been traveling with the others.
Oh, something I wanted to make sure I said. Um, I want to be researching Crafter's Fortune, and I'll do all the roles for it, like, after this, because we only have a short amount of time.
Yeah, understood.
Okay.
Understood. Okay. Um, my lady, you mentioned something about some. Do you know where that the remains of that ruin went? You mentioned something about Yasin, the man. Was it that man's name, my lady?
Uh, if you could call him a man, I mean, he's more of a coward. Um, he, Hastis mentioned him setting up shop nearby in this area.
Is
So,
he?
it's entirely possible that he kind of has a knack for being possessed. So I wouldn't be surprised if it took over his body. But I warned them about it last night, so let's just hope.
Right. When you say setting up, what do you mean by that?
He seems to be setting up his own little city. Uh, I believe his last name was like Magorovich or something. Oh, he told me his actual last name like a while ago. He's apparently some family from up north that's being hunted right now. I don't really care. I kind of shrug. He does
Yeah.
his thing, I do mine.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough, my lady. I was just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He seems
Um,
to think that he has some sort of birthright to having his own kingdom and decided, oh hey, it's nice to have this like right in this area. I pointed out on the map, but I would probably point out more like right here around the ancient Taldane Forge than where it actually is. Because
Okay.
she would kind of
Well,
assume that he would set
that's
up a
pretty
person.
close, lady.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, we just keep moving on, man.
Yeah. Okay. Um, you uh you start you notice because what you're doing is you're skirting the edge of the lake. You notice that the land starts to incline, um, and effectively you're coming to where you're basically walking up the side of of a cliff face that looks down on the Tuss water. Um, and there's a lot of brambles and nettles, and it's very wild up here. It's quite heavy going. The Iron Wings get out their machetes and start trying to kind of
Guess what I have?
ah, what do
Totally
you have?
not a machete.
Aha, ah, yes.
Best weapon in the game.
So what? You're gonna bomb it?
No, man. I'm gonna take my machete, look at my
Hey,
machete, and then use a bomb on it.
okay.
I'm kidding. I'm gonna actually use the
Yeah,
machete to help out.
it's fine. Help out. Okay. And so going's quite slow. Um, you probably get sort of digging in like a channel, if that makes sense. Um, uh, and you get kind of, you know, some a decent distance in. Your arms feeling heavy and tired, um, and your uh, basically the sergeant says, Lady Von Weird, I think it's time for us to camp for the night, and then we can make our way through the rest of this in the morning.
Alright. I,
Okay,
after he says this, I kinda nod, and when I think that he's not looking, I'm gonna double check and make sure all my stuff's still there.
no problems. Wait there, mate.
Okay.
1 minute. Okay, you still there?
Yep.
Yep. Sorry about that. Okay, so you wake up the following morning. It's quite cramped here, because effectively, they've just dug out a channel. If you can imagine this kind of huge mass of kind of brambles and thorn bushes that just kind of spreads out for miles, and you guys are basically kind of cutting a channel through it as you're walking across along this cliff face. Um, so it's quite cramped, and there's a mild bit of grumbling from one or two of the Iron Wings, and the ground was pretty uncomfortable. Um, Sergeant Kramer hands out breakfast, um, and uh, has a chat with has a chat with one of the men. Two of them go off. The rest of the men sort of basically sort of start eating. Um, and uh, some of those that finished are kind of packed up their stuff. Um, uh, and yeah, um, I guess kind of 5, 10 minutes passes. Um, and uh, what looks like um, uh, quite a thick set figure with a kind of a hood and cloak uh, comes back with some of the kind of cooking equipment. Um, uh, and yeah, you notice one or two of the Iron Wings are uh, sort of basically kind of starting to complain a little bit about the food. Um, this thick set figure in the cloak kind of comes towards you with a plate, which you presume has your breakfast on it. Um, and
I take half of it and share the other half with somebody else that's been complaining about
okay,
food.
as you take it, you look up and you find yourself looking into the face of Hastus.
What?
And Hastus says to you, "The bear will have his honey now, Miss Von Witt," and
I throw a fucking bomb at him.
drops a load of chains at your feet. Um, uh, can you make a will roll, please? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it won't help, but yeah, I can try. I failed.
You did fail. Okay. There is a set of chains and like a ball gag, and you put them on. This is clear in your mind that this is the right thing to do. And then Hastus draws
I
out his
didn't know Hastus was into this.
and then yes, and then Hastus draws out his broadsword and starts basically setting to the rest of the Iron Wings. Quite a few of whom were already starting to be doubled over, clutching their stomachs.
Uh,
After about 2 minutes, it's all over, and a somewhat blood-covered Hastus comes back
uh,
to you and says, "I like you more like this, Lady Von Witt. We get better get moving, I guess."
what? I kind of like mumble through the gag, just like staring at him. Like, did he fight like Hastus fights? Ooh,
No, no,
okay.
he fought more like uh much more um picking the precise spot. Yeah, Hastus has some of that, but he's just a really strong man. Yeah,
This man more so relies on his accuracy than his strength.
correct. Um,
But yeah, I just mumble through the gag and just like keep doing it. Just like trying to talk.
it's fine. You'll notice he gets out a scroll and starts scratching his head a bit, but reads out the scroll in arcane language next to one of the bodies, and you see the face of one of the bodies change and kind of morph and loop and mold, and the face changes to that of Sergeant Kramer.
Can I try to um see what that spell was?
Do you have spellcraft?
I should. Let me double check. Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you want to make a spellcraft roll?
I rolled a 3 and I got a 12.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty. It's not a massively rare spell. There is a low level spell that you can use to change the
Sculpt
hit
body or the thing that lets
sculpt
you.
corpse.
Yep.
Sculpt corpse. Yes, indeed.
You know what this exactly sounds like? It sounds like it's Morwen.
Mm,
God. Fuck.
right. So, we have now come.
So, can I, like, glance around and see if I see another body of Kramer? Or is it safe
Mm,
to assume that this person was
you're
the
pretty
Kramer I
sure
traveled
this
with?
person that looks like Hastus is Sergeant Quinn.
Uh,
Yeah.